Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the second time today. What a nail-biter that was, but Jeeps have come away 42 points to 24 over the students. My name is Martin Lippitt, and we're back live from Ballymore for the minor semi-final between Sunnybank and West. After both encounters in the regular season, West came away with the win, but it's finals action today, and Sunnybank know what it takes to win knockout matches. But the Bulldogs haven't been here on semi-finals day for a decade, but enter this match on a 4-game win streak and with the whole club community rallying behind their success. Both these sides love to throw the ball around with electric options in the back line, so expect an exciting game of rugby right to the final siren. It's a fight for survival with a win to keep the dream alive and to progress on to face against UQ next week in the preliminary final. But before we get underway here at Ballymore, let's review all of the round 18 action in this edition of The Breakdown, hosted by J-Ball Staunton.
G'day rugby fans, J-Ball here again. We've just played our final round of the season, and what a season it's been. We've seen the most hotly contested competition in several years, and we've got our top 4 locked in with the mighty Doggies playing finals for the first time since 2007. Now, some congratulations are in order. We all know throughout the Premier Grade competition, the students have been chopping up all season, and they locked up the Horsley Cup, coming away minor premiers. In the reserve grade competition, with only one loss all season, is the Sunnybank Dragons. And in the Premier Colts competition, the mighty Bulldogs locked up that minor premiership and are going to the finals for the first time in many years. Congratulations to all 3 teams. Now, with all the formalities out of the way, let's have a quick squiz of what happened in round 18 in the final round of the season. Despite a gutsy second half comeback, the Tigers couldn't get the job done against Jeeps, going down 38-29. In St Lucia, the students dusted Bond 45-29. At Skyfleet Stadium, the Doggies got it done in the final round of the season, defeating Norths 25-15. And at Crosby Park, Brothers got up on the final play against Sunnybank 36-34. Now for the highlight of the round, it's from the Jeeps vs East game on the weekend. Jeeps got up 38-0 in the first half and only got away with a 9-point win, 38-29. But it was this individual piece of brilliance from Logan Tibbetts, the man with the mussy himself, that comes away with the highlight. Check it out. That's good gas from the mussy man himself. Great effort, brother. Now let's have a look at the juicy stuff coming up this weekend, finals footy. Our major semi-final will be on this Sunday, 3:05 p.m. between Uni and Jeeps, with the minor semi-final straight afterwards at 5:05 p.m. between Sunnybank and West. Now, finals footy starts this Saturday at 8:25 a.m. right here at Ballymore. So make it out, cheer on the boys and have a good day out up on the hill. And as always, if you can't make it, tune in live and free through our social channels. See you at the finals right here at the home of rugby, Ballymore. See you then.
Great stuff there, and it's obviously final series we've done with the major semi-final. Earlier, Jeeps knocked off UQ and off to the major semi-final. Off to the grand final in 2 weeks' time. That means UQ will be back next week in the pre-final, playing against the winner of this minor semi-final. But before we move on, Red CV caught up with young hack Liam Dillon during the week to get an inside feel of the West camp heading into finals. Check it out.
Yeah, like you said, it's been a couple of tough years. Haven't been in the finals since 2007, but it's something we really wanted to do at the start of the year, and we talked about it, and we set a few key sort of pillars, I guess you'd say, and I think we've sort of shown those the way we've played throughout the year, and sort of got the result of getting into the finals is awesome. And then winning 4 games in a row now, I think that we can take great confidence going into finals, and I think we're playing really good footy, so just try and bring that out on Sunday, and hopefully it goes well. You talk to anybody who plays in the final series or a grand final or whatever it is, they say it's 80 minutes, and the past doesn't matter, the future doesn't matter. So we have beaten them twice, but I think we do play similar style to them, and I think it's quite an even battle. So I don't think it means much, but keen to get out there and verse them again.
Great stuff there with Liam Dillon now. I'm back here with Michael Atkinson. Michael, welcome to our second match of the day. And let's quickly get into it. Obviously, the back nine for Sunnybank, that is one of the most hot and cold back nines I've seen in a while.
It is very, very hot and cold. Very Katy Perry of them. And coming off a defeat in the very last round to Brothers, as opposed to West, who are on a 4-game winning streak. They've got a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. And West, they've got a good track record against Sunnybank. Now, let's move it even further forward. Let's have a look at our players to watch. Now, Dave Findlay Henaway from the Dragons. He's in the blindside flanker position today. You're obviously back at 7 after weeks on the sideline with Cinders Moses. It's a really bad one. And he's obviously looking for back-to-back premierships after winning one with Brothers last year. He was obviously with the Brisbane City team.
Yeah, he knows finals footy. As you just touched on, he won a premiership with Brothers last year, so that'll bode well for him. And from West, this bloke is electric. Ed Fido. Wow, hasn't he scored some tries? And he's loved it. He's hammed it up a few times, but you know, you can do that when you're scoring the tries that he scores.
Well, that's it. 10 tries to his name this year. The former Samoa Sevens player. Great combination with Brian Hutchinson and Filippo as well. Now moving straight into the team list. Wearing the number 1 jersey for Sunnybank, it's Franco Abdallah. Number 2, Molly Sue Manalagi. Also on the front row is Feo Futuaika. Second row, Joshua Fenner and Nathan Dan Hurt. In the flankers, David Findlay Henaway and Chaz Mahina. At number 8, Jeffrey Farmer-Sully. At halfback, Isaac Olivasa. At number 10, Jake Strawn. On the wings, Joey Fiddick and Richie Achong. In the centres, Isaac Lucas and Henry Tafu. At fullback, Junior Leluifi and coach Damon Virtue.
For West, Missioka, Timotiao, Cody Blackhouse at hook, and tight head prop is Ositalia, Veomanu, Connor Anderson and Spencer Wormsley in the second rows, Jeremiah Lynch, Alec Fontalvo and Dylan Wihongi in the back row. Liam Dillon at 9, Paul Etty Slater at 10, Ed Fidel we spoke about on the wing. The centres are Larry Hermans and Lachlan Maranta. On the other wing, Filippo Dalgunu and
Close.
Byron Hutchinson at 15. I think I've been stitched up. They are coached by Pat Byron.
Mate, you dove in head first, and I'll sing your praises for that one.
J-Boy, he's got those pronunciations down.
But
pat.
he gets a bit of help. I'm not gonna hang you out.
I think we need it. We need a 12th man style rehearsal pre.
Oh God. And it looks like we are underway here, Wes, with the kickoff. Oh, and that's a great take by Jeremiah Lynch. Does so well.
Yeah, that's a good start from the Bulldogs.
Dylan
Possession straight
offloads,
away.
finds Timoteo. Here they go. Ooh, bit of a cheeky there, but Richie Achong, he'll jump straight into the saddle and do some damage. And Wes, they're riled up after seeing what's unfolded before. Anything's possible coming in. And here's Timoteo. He's been great all season. West coming down the far side. There goes through the hands of Dylan Wahongi.
Leave it now.
Damon Murphy out there. Our referee.
Tackle release. Tackle release. Tackle release, please.
Dylan down the short side, looks to go himself. Great defence there from Sue Melagi. Advantage to the Bulldogs.
On your hands.
And the penalty going against
Hands. Flush around
Dave Findlay Henaway.
Just testing a little bit too much at the breakdown. The Dragons there trying to stop the roll the Bulldogs were on. Unfortunately, they're giving away a penalty. Geez, Liam Dillon is really probing thus far, hasn't he, for the Bulldogs?
I think he's really been such a huge asset for this West team, and he's really the pin in the hinge for that team.
He's from up north, from Townsville, good Townsville product. And he's reveling down here in the big smoke. It'll be a great battle today, him and Isaac Fines-Lalawasa, two very talented electric halves. So the Bulldogs hoping to, you know, strike first blood here. A line out 5 metres out.
And the Bulldogs, they're moving well up the middle of the field. They've got some options there. Dylan plucks it out, shoots to the right-hand side, finds in the hands of Wormsley. They're going to keep working their way down. Oh, and there's a great hammering run.
Oh, that's a wonderful offload.
And that is going to be a fantastic try. Opens up the scoring account. The Bulldogs have come out swinging.
Slater just getting his nose through the line and getting his arms free to get that offload. And wonderful support play.
And we see here the double take replay. Dylan does well. He assesses the situation. He sees the players lined up. He knows what his backs are capable of. He digs in, looks left, looks right, says that's where I'm going to go. and it was the great little 1-2. Paul Eddie Slater took a bit of depth, ran a nice hard line.
And great support from Larry Hermans there. That's what you want from your centre. If your 10 goes to the line, you want him there supporting, and he's done it.
And
spot on.
Great foresight from West. They've really hit the ground running here. 2 minutes 40 on the clock, and they've already gotten across with a conversion to come.
They've carried that 4-game winning streak into this opening couple of minutes, haven't they? They've come in with that momentum. They got the kickoff back. And
well, they and Sunnybank know that West have been the better side in the last 2 occasions that they've met. So, you know, West want to go 3-0 for the season.
Well, the last time they played Sunnybank and got a win, it started that run of 4 straight wins.
Here we go, Jake Strawn in the middle for the restart. Ball goes high. Safe take though. Bit of a return kick there from Dangunu. They're going to go through the middle, hands of Junior Lalawifi. Puts in a kick of his own. Now I spoke to Damon Virtue and they said they don't want to let these back 3 for West have too much room to move. So these kicks have got to be on point. Loose ball outside, they're going to keep going. Oh, a wild pass, I don't think anyone's home.
Ed Fido saw an opportunity. Unfortunately, execution just let him down. Because there was space on this left side for them. Sunnybank finally get the opportunity to get the ball
Finally
in hand.
attack. Sue Metalagi, ball in hand. Fake in the middle. Go to the middle. They do very well. Oh, a bit of a loose ball there. West will turn out with it. Dylan floats one over the top, does so well. Finds the hands of Hermans. A little bit of a kick in
Just
play.
overcooked it, Byron Hutchinson, unfortunately. There's a wonderful pass from Liam Dillon there. He saw the Sunnybank defence rush up and he just went straight over the top of them.
You see, there's still a great crowd here at Ballymore. They're on all sides of the field now. Now the sun's gone down. The mercury's going to drop a little.
There should be plenty of doggy supporters out here.
Suemelagi goes up, does well, finds the hands of Fenner. Strawn offloads. Here comes a familiar face. That's Henry Taifu in the number 13 jersey. Taifu offload, finds, puts it into the hands there of Dan Hurt. Finds from the back. Pulls it to the left-hand side. Good run there from Farmasuli. Finds again. Looks at his players. There's Josh Fenner having another one. It'll be advantage to the Dragons. Misioka Timoteo offside. Not wasting any time there, and that'll be the penalty.
Gold one, offside. Gold one. All good?
The Bulldogs have shown a lot of intent in this opening 5 minutes. You know, obviously they got the ball and scored in the first 2.5, but even now without the ball, they're really getting up in the face of the Dragons.
It's good to see, but the other thing is they can't get caught up in the moment. I know it's been a long time between innings, but they've got to maintain that composure that got them here in the first place, because that is what's going to take to beat the Sunnybank side. Sunnybank have been here a fair few times in the last few years. So they know what finals footy's about.
They do know what finals footy's about.
But that is not what it's about. That is a very loose line out, and the Bulldogs, great opportunity. Here comes Hermans now. Does well to clean it up. Dylan from the back hits the hands. Jeremiah Lynch. And Jeremiah Lynch, look at him.
Steaming
having
away.
the best time ever. Links
Oh,
up.
no
Here's
one will.
Dawunu.
Great
He's
foot
pulling
race.
Away. Oh, takes a little bit of an inside step.
Advantage.
I jinxed him. I went to say no one will catch him.
Edford did so well.
There was a great chase in defence by Richie Archong. And Jake
Advantage
Straw
over.
had a year to kick the ball.
They just sat there and watched him, because I think West were more inclined that they were going to try and milk the penalty, but West, and I think Jake Strawn thought the man was going to come and swamp him as well. But here we go on the far side. Here goes Dalwunu, and the ball will be lost. Oh, and that's a straight kick. Oh, and it'll be missed.
It's gone straight through. Isaac finds Lalawasa.
And they're going to come back.
Deliberate knockdown.
And deliberate knockdown. Now, what an interesting flavour this game has 7 minutes in compared to the last one we saw. Very different stuff. We're seeing a lot more. No, they're really running around fast lines. They're looking for options. We haven't seen too much in the way of slowing down, picking and driving options. We're seeing very fast rugby.
It's been very open, hasn't it? And West have shown when they get an opportunity, they want to go wide, they want to get down the other end of the field.
I think there's a lot of keen souls out there, and I'm kind of waiting for the moment when they all go, this is real. We need to knuckle down and start playing our games. At the moment, they're playing a lot of impulsive rugby.
Yep.
See them tighten up.
The willingness is there, but there's been a lot of errors already. We've seen a number of knock-ons. We've stopped now for a penalty. But I think all the players out there, and even the referee, would be relishing a breather after only 7 minutes.
Time back on.
And I like that the referee's only gone for a penalty there. It was a deliberate knockdown, but he's avoided going to the pocket for a card. Simply a penalty. So we've still got 15 on 15.
There we go, West kick for the line, and they'll get a line out just inside, just outside the 22, I beg your pardon.
He didn't have a lot of angle to work with there, Byron Hutchinson.
Blackhurst flicks it up, and Lynch will just miss his opportunity. It'll be a knock-on, though. It looks like Finlay will have it. Driving balls on the cards for the Dragons. Fines from the back. Fines. Puts the ball out. Strawn. Kick goes up. It's going to have a bit of run on it. It's going to come just down in between the 40 and the 22.
That's a great kick by Byron Hutchinson.
Where West. Here comes Daungunu. He's going to put pressure on. He nearly gets there. And we're seeing, like we've said this before, we're not seeing them staying put in one spot for too long.
No, neither side is holding possession and building pressure. It was a great kick by Byron Hutchinson, and Joey Fiddick just had to get rid of it, didn't he? There was a lot of pressure coming down from the West.
Here we go. Blackhurst goes up. Oh, and it'll get spoiled. And Abdallah will miss. Blackhurst somehow finds it again, but it'll go back to the initial knock-on, and it's going to be a Sunnybank scrum. First scrum of the game.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Big front row for Sunnybank. Falfo Tuaika, Frank Abdallah, and the man Sue Mai-Lagi is a mouthful.
Sue
Malagi.
You'll get there.
Mr. Miyagi.
Sand the floor. Paint the fence.
It'll be interesting to see how they go at this set piece, because the Bulldogs have struggled a little bit in the line out so far. They've lost a few against their throw.
Crouch! Bind!
Fines with the ball in hand.
Set!
A lot of hustle and bustle in the grandstands.
Big shove from the Dragons.
Fines, puts it in the hands of Strawn. Strawn kicks it. Will he find the line? No, he won't. All he'll find is Daungunu in the fluoro yellows. He's got Hutchinson on the left and Dylan. Daungunu goes himself. And Jake Strawn just gets the man down. From the back there will be Eddie Slater.
Oh, great shot by Junior Lalawithi.
Does so well. Here's Dylan now. Dylan goes himself, no half.
Advantage.
That'll be advantage to the Bulldogs. They didn't release the man. Slater. Slater goes in. He's got the support. Driving more. There's the 22. The Bulldogs are up 7-0. Can they add to their tally?
Not yet, mate.
Oh, big clean.
And that's going to be
foul
from the side.
Off feet.
Oh, quick start there. They're going to get on the way. That was from Talvo. Offloads it. Finds the number 12, Hermans. Dylan offloads. Here's Timoteo. Timoteo fast off the mark for a big man. Dylan from the back sends it out. Options running right past him. They're going to go through the hands. And here's another great run here from Wahongi. Wahongi offloads. Here's Hutchinson. Hutchinson. Oh, he threw it out. He thought that the man would be there, but he wasn't. And that'll be a missed opportunity for the Bulldogs. But Sunnybank not out of trouble here. They've got a line out.
Scrum a line out.
Are they going to take the scrum or the line out?
Scrum.
And the Bulldogs are really taking it to the Dragons in this opening 10 minutes.
And rain is starting to fall here on the minor semi-final. Ballymore's
Time
about to
back
get a
on.
little bit greasy.
Over here, boys. Let's go again. Just here. I'll come this way. I'll come this way.
Yeah. Again, breaker. Let's work on it. You've popped on. Straight down again. Stop in this big cut.
Win the hit.
You got it again, breaker. Let's go, bro.
Win the hit.
Anyone. Let's go again, breaks.
And we are here. Another big scrum for both sides. Conditions are going to get a little bit trying here. Territory there. Michael, 20-73. The Bulldogs looking in good form.
They are, and that's been obvious. Most of the game has been inside the Dragons' 22-metre zone.
Advantage.
And their advantage to the Dragons. They've done very well. Fines, offloads, pulling away now. This will be a good run there from Isaac Lucas. Finds a Chong, and a Chong will get wrapped up, but they're going to come back to the initial penalty.
Scrum.
And Marty, for mine, this is where the Dragons can really start to get a bit of momentum. It's the set piece. They've won at the line-out against the throw a number of times. They've dominated at the scrum the last two scrums. So if they can get to the set piece, I think that's an opportunity for them.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that I don't know how you counter it, it's the unpredictability of West.
Offside.
They have a lot of weapons in their arsenal to use and use them in very creative and attacking ways.
Oh, mate, I'll do it. Someone pinching.
We've seen it already. I mean, it's been a frenetic opening, nearly 12 minutes. The thing that's let down West on a couple of occasions is the skill execution. And now that it is raining, it's probably going to a little bit get harder as well.
You know, we could see that weather was starting to go a bit south, and it's just like it decided right when the game had swapped over. All right, put the waterworks on now. Would have that been interesting? Wet weather and those scrums in the first game.
It would have been very interesting.
And advantage to the Bulldogs. Dylan does well and holds on.
Knock on. Knock on. Double.
And we wanted to see scrums in the wet. We get scrums in the wet. West are up 7 points to 0 here in the first half. 13 down on the clock.
Gap's pretty big, mate.
Props on. Hold him away. Hold him away, boys. Get the hit.
See, everyone's evacuated from the hill. Not liking the wet conditions.
I got number 8 here. What are you doing? No, stop.
Up.
They're creeping on us. Give it a go.
No pre-engage from you, please. No pre-engage. Last time I warn you, no bind before bind's called, please.
Damon Murphy there is already laying down a little bit of law with.
And as expected, there's a little bit of chat between opposition front rows in this scrum.
Straight through him.
This is where they get to shine, the big boys, so they also get a little bit lippy, understandably.
Bind.
Scrum time, boys. Scrum time here. Get it on.
Good scrum engage from both sides. Dylan, bit of a tap on the shoulder of Tim. Feeds it in, plucks it out the back. It's looking very clean. Here's Downlunu going in. Tries to shimmy his way around, but gets disposed of for his efforts. Dylan floats one out. Oh, and here's the big man out on the wide. It's Vaiamanu. Vaiamanu will go down. He'll lose the ball. Knocked on. Advantage to the Dragons. Now, if they can't make something happen, they'll come back for the scrum. And here we go. Strawn out the back. Hits the flat line to Isaac Lucas. Lucas finds some space. Tries to bat off. Tries to bat off Jeremiah Lynch, but he just can't get there. Here's Finlay Henaway going up in the number 6 jersey. He's still going.
Release now,
And he'll
7.
be backed up there comfortably by, looks like, the sub, Sione Hell in the number 25 jersey.
Just overran it a little bit there, Junior Lalawithi. He was told before he'd taken hold of the ball. So the Dragons trying. I think a lot of their attack, if they can get some momentum, will come through Isaac Lucas. He's had a couple of good runs. He's throwing ball. Like that pass he threw to Lalawithi just then was very good. Lalawithi just overran it a little bit.
Now, the 2017 Championship fixtures were released with both the Brisbane City and Queensland country squads announced. Anticipation is building for the first clashes. We will be breaking new ground here at Ballymore when Brisbane will face off against the new Fiji side on September 2nd. Head to redsrugby.com.au for more information.
I'd just like to point out how big a man Mick Heenan is. He is pretty much the same as Brad Thorne in that picture.
I said, oh, well, at least you're taller than Thorny.
Not quite as broad in the shoulder, but he's got him with hop.
Right down. Yeah.
We see a special mention to the sponsors who support club and grassroots rugby, including Sunnybank's major sponsor Record and X-Radiology, who is the major sponsor for West.
Interesting here, Marty. Edford-O is packing in at number 8 for the Bulldogs. The left winger.
I call
packing down the back of the
shenanigans.
Scrum. I'm guessing he's going to pick and go.
Be interesting to see what goes on. And they feed. Dylan offloads. There's Lynch. That was the plan all along. Put the big timber into the centres. Oh, and Dylan. Ball snatched away from his fingertips by Findlay Henaway. Dan Hurt gets the offload. Fines. He's trying to find some space.
Release now.
Fines obviously making NRC squads this year.
End of Brisbane City this year. It was Queensland country last year, so he's switched allegiances.
It'll be interesting to see what he can do under the tutelage of Mick Heenan. There's a good little hit there from Isaac Lucas. It'll strike. That's
kick.
pinpoint. And this will be the first time the Dragons have been out of their half in probably the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it almost feels like the first time they've had the ball. It might only be the second time they've had the ball inside the Bulldogs' half. A great kick from Isaac Lucas. Interestingly, he's got 3 older brothers who are very talented footballers themselves. And 10 years ago, Sunnybank won the grand final, and Ben Lucas scored about 35 points in that match. So Isaac will be out there hoping to try and emulate.
That's a big number.
That's a huge number.
An accurate number?
I think it's pretty accurate.
All right, here we go. The Bulldogs now on the charge. Great run there from Fontalvo. Advantage to Dickens again. Another knock on.
Advantage over.
There's a big heavy run there.
Leave it.
Rafeo Futuaika, followed up by a good run from Farmer Sully. Fines from the back.
A big shot from Timoti. Yeah.
Here we go. Another good run from Feo Futuaika. Gets himself up into the mix. Fines, plucks it out. Hidala in the number 24 jersey. Where's 24? Because he doesn't fit number 1. Fines, hits around. Strawn inside option. Henry Taifu in the 19 jersey does very well.
Balls out.
Fines. Snap thinking. Put box kick
Smart
in.
kick.
And
That is a very smart play.
Now, I want to give all my praise to him. I feel like the spot really rolled the dice. That bounce was under a metre outside. He's really dancing with the devil.
We talk so much about Isaac Fines-Oluwase's game because he's electric ball in hand, but he does have that skill as well. And that was execution to a T, as you said, within a metre of the sideline.
Separates the men's from the boys, Michael. Jeremiah Lynch does very well, picks it up at the 3-man option. They're going to send it through the hands. Oh, and that is a great ball to find Hermans. He does so well, pulls through. Dylan puts in a box kick of his own, so he can do it too. A little bit shy. Oh, and Downunu gets the bounce, the tap back. So West still in attack mode as they move down the field. There is Lachlan Maranta. Dylan again. Said it worked once. Let's see if it works twice. And that's a great take from Sean Downunu. Was waiting for him.
That is brilliant.
Oh,
that is
from Downunu. Here he goes. Another wild flick pass out the side. Can he go all the way? Trying the corner to West. Fontalvo.
But you've got to notch that try up to Downunu. Oh. He timed his hit perfectly, then stripped the ball.
We were talking about this off the air before we started. The interesting thing about Downunu is he's the jack of all trades, master for none. We see in the replay here. Here's a guy. He's always hungry. Obviously, I believe he's a product from. Is it the Fiji 15 Sevens program.
Fiji under 20s.
Fiji's
He played
under 20s.
a couple of years ago.
And we see he's come across here and he was doing such great attacking work. And I think players, this is the thing when you have phenomenal players like that. That's the second time we've seen one of those cheeky backhand flick passes. And the West boys go, right, here's a guy that's going to get into space. And we've got running in support to where he gets those little passes out. And I think this is one of the great things that West have done that season. They've got great players in. And I think this is the difference. You have players that are supported by the players around them, and you get more out of them.
Yeah, and the great thing about the Bulldogs is they've thrown those passes so far in this game. They have a hand, but they don't go away from it. They keep going, and eventually it comes. A-la just did there, and we've got a try in the corner. You speak about Daunu as a jack of all trades, a former goalkeeper in Fiji's national football, so he's obviously a very skillful bloke.
And Byron Hutchinson, the tall timber, 15, won't get there. He'll shoot it wide of the left post. So the West Bulldogs in the 21st minute, they are up 12 points to 0, and they are sticking it to the Dragons here. So the winner of this match obviously will move forward to see UQ in the preliminary final next week. And that's going to be an absolute nail-biter.
Could be. It could be a replay of a few finals we've had in recent years if Sunnybank were to get up. Otherwise, we've got a battle of the West, UQ and the Bulldogs, who are in front of the
Win Derby.
Yeah.
And here we go. Great little run from Sunnybank. They managed to hold him. It's going to get picked up and recovered there by Walmsley in the yellow headgear. Dylan from the back. Puts it through. Finds Slater. Slater goes in, but he gets wrapped up by Futuaika. Picking, driving. They're doing very well. Bulldogs. Bit of loose ball. And the Bulldogs
have turned it over.
Turned it over, and here they go. Strawn through the hands. Here's Teifu. Teifu does well. He drops down, though, heavy. Looks there's a bit of argy-bargy in the background, but they're going to get down to business anyway. Oh, that's some great rugby off the deck there by the number 25, Sione Nahelu. And here we go. Wes on the charge. Trying to down. Finds see space. That signature goes through. Isaac finds. He's got players inside ball. Links up with Junior Lalowifi. Lalowifi goes down. Here they go quickly again. Finds. That'll be advantage. Now Nunu knows it, and he's trying to stall it for as long as he can. It looks like there's a bit of a tickler going on in the back play.
There is plenty on the line. So understandably, there's a lot of passion out there. But that's what we know Isaac Fines can do. The little show and go straight through the line, and he's got speed.
He's had a few power plays this year with that
I think he has.
Oh, I know he has, because I'm the one that has to talk about him.
He is, as Jay Ball would say, smooth as a wet frog's armpit. From the Jay Ball Staunton book of metaphors.
I don't think we're at barn burner yet, so you let me know when we get there.
Let's go, boys. March.
Rightio, if you're watching at home, thumbs up if you think the Doggies are going to hold on to it and get through the preliminary final. Love hearts if you think the Dragons are going to go all the way. Let us know what you're thinking. And they're packing out for a scrum. Good opportunity here for the Dragons. They are about 15 metres out from the line.
This is their best attacking opportunity of the match so far, Marty. They've been dominant with the scrum, and now they've got the feed 15 out from the line.
Farmer Sully in the number 25 jersey. You're going to keep trotting through. Oh, that was a bit of a high hit, but he's going to hold on. Sunnybank.
Collapsing.
Collapsing.
Come back to penalty advantage from the scrum. He's pinned the Bulldogs for collapsing there at scrum time.
Scrum.
And
Scrum.
Naturally, the Dragons have chosen to pack down again.
Absolutely. They're going to keep pressing this advantage. Very misty conditions here at Ballymore. And we see that possession, 60-40 to the Bulldogs, but it looks like it's time off.
The territory's starting to come a little bit back. It's still heavily in the Bulldogs' favour, but at one point it was 90-10. So it's coming a little bit back to a favourable stat for the Dragons.
All good. Time back on. There's your mark. Nice and tight for the mark for me, please.
We are here. It's our second game of semi-final action for the 2017 Queensland Premier Grade competition. Obviously, Jeeps came away the victors, 42 points to University's 24. So it's 2-2 between them now, between Jeeps and Uni. So hopefully, you know, they'll be hoping to get another crack at them in 2 weeks' time in the grand final side. Who was best in the land?
Is it 2 all or 2-1?
Including the trials?
Wasn't that...
Well, if we go on that... Well, if it sounds better if there's 5 games, there's actually like something on the line at the end.
Oh, okay.
You know, who wants to play scissors?
The trials count.
Mate, well, apparently...
Or is this a debate like tries?
Apparently tries in finals get you off knees. The response was quite adamant that it doesn't, Adco.
Well, it's still a try. It counts towards the tally for the year, so I think it should.
Unless you want to have a second round of nudies after finals.
Everyone's back on scratch.
That's a lot of closeless individuals.
Yeah. Things can get messy.
Dylan at the back now. West, they're pulling away. Good. Heavy running there from Slater, really putting himself on the line. A knock-on from the Dragons. Now, both teams, I think it's fair to say, a lot of knock-ons. We're seeing a lot of scrums. They need to tighten this stuff up. I think it's going to be the team that can tighten it up that's really going to get forward.
Yeah, neither team's really building a lot of pressure, are they, through sustained phases? With that from the beginning, they were really chancing their arm, West in particular, but now it's gotten a little bit wet. It's just making the errors a little more frequent.
And as the rain continues to roll in every Friday during the Premier competition, our weekly is released, and this week jam-packed with articles on our 4 finals teams, match day team lists, competition results, high point scorers, and everything Premier Grade. You can find it via redsrugby.au and on the Queensland Premier Rugby Facebook page.
Set!
And Dylan feeds the scrum. He's going to flick it out.
Take him back.
Goes back into the hands of Hutchinson. Charge down! The Dragons, do they have an opportunity, but it's going to go dead. So 28 minutes into the first half, the Bulldogs holding off the Dragons. They are yet to score.
Take him back in. Should we take him back in?
And it'll be a 22-metre dropout here because it's technically taken back into taken dead by the charge down from Chaz Mahina. So the Bulldogs might be able to get the ball away from their danger zone.
Warren Hutchinson sends it deep, gets it over the 40-metre line, but Isaac Lucas just
footwork.
That was huge. Lucas down the far side, but they flagged him on it.
Joey Fiddick it was.
Joey Fiddick, I beg your pardon.
How good was his footwork?
Thought he was
Give
away.
him an inch and he'll take a mile. He
Thought
just
he was
left
away.
the Bulldogs defenders for dead, but unfortunately, a bit like Jared Hayne in Origin a few years
I
back.
thought we weren't talking about that.
Wait, are you a Blue supporter?
No. It's just I'm not. We're here playing Union.
Well, I'm just drawing
Jeremiah Lynch does well.
parallels.
Dylan offloads, finds Slater. Slater puts a little bit of a kick in. He's got players running on the outside, but Junior Alawifi sporting a single glove on the right hand. It might just be tape. Homage to the late, great Michael Jackson, probably.
I thought he was a Prince lookalike.
It could work. Here we go. And, Taifu shows some great stepping maneuverability there. Pulls his way into the middle. Advantage given to the Dragons. Finds from the back, offloads. Oh, and that is a great run.
High tackle. High tackle.
Penalty there for a high tackle against the Bulldogs.
And the thing about Henry Tafer is he is obviously released after the season, and he has got aspirations across with the Samoan, 15 squad. And then I've heard rumblings, it might go as far to see him move across to the ITM in later years. So he hasn't been there for most of the season, but I think Virtue just kind of whispered into his ear enough to say, mate, come back for one last crack at the hospital.
He's a great player to be able to slot into your back line. He's got, a pretty impressive representative resume. City, he played for the Parramatta Eels under-20s in Rugby League. He played for the Western Sydney Rams in the original season of the NRC in 2014, and he does have a couple of Reds caps.
There we go. The Bulldogs have cleaned up a sloppy Sunnybank line out. Dylan from the back finds Slater. They're going to keep working through the hands, and there is a good run from Hermans. Offloads, they're going to keep moving through the hands. Hutchinson lines up the big long levers, but we're going to come back.
8:25 offside.
And the penalty is going to go against Chaz Mahina and Farmasuli offside, so Wes with a golden opportunity. That'll be time off though. So Michael, really interesting first 30 minutes of this game. Hasn't really slowed down. Both teams just seem to be scrambling all over the field.
A few times they're really chancing their arm on everything they can. Unfortunately, a lot of it's not coming off at the moment. I'd like to see teams having a crack rather than not having a crack. At the last 5 minutes, it started to even out territory-wise. The game's been played more in the middle third as opposed to that first sort of 20-25. West really dominated the territory.
Well, I think we've just got two very similar teams that are playing a bit of similar game right now.
Yeah.
A lot of footy being played in 22s.
When you're ready, mate.
Like, we're not seeing them really creep up on those try lines, inside the 22s and putting on potential try pressure. It just seems like there's a big game of cat and mouse that's going back and forth in the middle of the field.
Just finding the touchline there was Lachlan Maranta with his kick. So a good opportunity for the Bulldogs now. They haven't been down this end of the field for a little while.
Thank you.
They'd be looking to extend their 12-0 lead here off the back of this line out.
They go quickly up to the back. Oh, a bit of a loose ball, but it's going to be advantage. Knocked off the hands there, but Walmsley does well to get it. Virtue calls advantage over. Here's Timoteo. Timoteo going right up. He's got some players on it.
Please.
Gets told that he needs to be released to get to the floor. Dylan from the back hits Walmsley again. No, outside to Blackhurst. Cody Blackhurst, the hooker. Cody Blackhurst.
Big man on. Oh, he's just lost the ball.
Blackhurst. Been stripped. Great work. Oh, and loose ball.
Time off.
West's appealing for a try here.
Is that Nick Berry?
Okay.
Nick Berry backing up on the touch.
Yeah, I've seen the ball go in. He's got a touch to it, but it's rolled in. So 22. 22, before the line. 22, Sunnybank.
22 restart from Sunnybank. They did push it out of the field of play from the end zone.
I think the final ruling there was it did go in goal, and West did get a touch on it, but it went in goal because West had lost it forward.
Strawn goes for the dropout, and he'll do nothing but find the hands of Hermans, who links up through the middle. Dylan, Byron Hutchinson, sleep at the wheel.
Just caught in the lights there, I think, the ball.
Through the hands, here's Lynch. Lynch, he doesn't pass away, but Walmsley gets his hand to it, does well. A bit of a show and go, but he's met by the front row of Fotuaika and Sue Menalagi.
Back, boys. Advantage.
And advantage. Dylan's lost the ball off the back of Hermans. A lot of little errors here from both sides.
Back, boys.
Fines. Wasn't happy with the defence creeping up, but he'll find Dan Hurt. Followed up by a good run. Fenner. Oh, and here's big
foul.
Fotuaika.
Big foul went kapow on little Liam Dillon.
They're going to keep pushing through, followed up with a good run from Jeffrey Farmasuli in the number 25 jersey. Advantage to the Dragons. This is probably the closest they've gotten in a while. Now from the back, Fines. He's looking what's around him. Pop one's up to Finlay Henaway. They're going to keep working their way through. Great running here from the Dragons. They're pushing up very hard. Can they go all the way? And the Dragons go over for their first. I think so wait for the confirmation on the number.
What's that? Appreciate it.
I think it was Jeffrey Farmasuli, the big number 8. He's playing at number
25.
We're 25. He's 3 times the rate player you'd expect. We see here in the double take replay, Sunnybank took full advantage of the of their advantage in close proximity to the west line. They kept running, and when you got someone as big as Jeffrey Farmer-Sully, you can't really slow him down.
How good was the leg drive? He grabbed, Alec Fontalvo came in to make the tackle, and Farmer-Sully grabbed him and used him as a battering ram to get his way over the try line.
And now it'll be up to Jake Strawn. He's had a good track record this year. Can he find the extra 2 to close the gap to 5 points? Strawn, 16 in, 19 out. Strawn strikes. Strawn finds the flags.
He's a very reliable kicker, Jake Strawn, consistently at the top of the ladder or near thereabouts in terms of points scored for the season.
I believe he's coming in at third. I think
third at the moment, probably fittingly behind.
No,
James
I actually
Dalglish
think he
and AJ
might be. I
Alatimu.
think he might be leading. Dalglish is in second, and AJ Alatimu is at third.
Right.
That was as of end of round 18. That is a superb kick, straight up, straight down. Dan Hurt did hastily to take it. Dan Hurt really thrashing his way around. Strawn flicks it out. Looks for his options in the middle, finds Josh Fenner. Fenner does well, but Warms doesn't get him down. Wadawika, here's Abdallah. Abdallah goes one-on-one, he bats them off, and he'll go down there just behind the 40. They're starting to calm it down, they're playing the game they know. Here's Junior Laloifi. Junior does well.
Leave it now.
Finds, looks to go the blind side. Does he have options? Oh, way pass, but it'll find Sue Melalagi. Get up to the halfway line. Finds, gets himself free, sends it. Looking for the option. Here's Isaac Lucas now.
Showing off that show and go once again and pumping the legs, the young fella.
Doing very well. A definite star of the future. Finds inside ball.
Lovely little Gregan pass. I love it when a halfback brings that play back.
Absolutely, and there, followed up again, Strawn. Sunnybank, they're calming down now, playing a different style to the first 30 minutes of this game. They're grinding, because I think they know that's where the points are going to come from. Slowly working their way up the field through phase play. They're doing well, Fines. This will probably be about phase 10 to 15 coming up. They're going to keep going. There's the 40-metre line. They're slowly uncovering this field, play by play. Fines, hits Abdallah. Abdallah goes one-on-one with Timoteo, and he'll go down. Sunnybank, they're getting there. They're getting there slowly, but they are getting there. Here comes the big man. Farmer-Sully got them that first try. Very handy. Now they're hitting a bit of a stall here, 38 metres out.
It's the first time so far we've seen a bit of patience, isn't it?
Here's Richie Achong. He's going to try to show off that sevens pedigree that he has, but he gets shut down real quickly. Finds, gets absolutely swamped by Fido.
He's done well to keep possession there.
Richie Achong offloads, finds the hands. Finlay Henaway, advantage of the Dragons again. They've been patient and they were waiting for West to make an error. They now have the ball. The Dragons coming in hot. 25 metres out from the try line. They're trailing 7 points to 12. They want to close the gap. Here goes Strawn. Strawn slides through the hands of Vaiamanu. Good defence from West. It's slowing them down considerably. Abdallah gets put down.
Must come back through the gate. Ruck formed. Entry.
And I think this is the game that Sunnybank need to play. They can't get sucked into this very impulsive kicking, running game. They're playing patience, and it paid off. It got them the penalty.
Well, the Bulldogs love to have the football, and we've seen it in the opening nearly 40 minutes, that when they've got the ball, they love to play a bit of rugby. So if you can starve them of it, they start to get frustrated, and they'll give away penalties as they just have.
And with about a minute left on the clock, I'm sure that the Sunnybank team, they want to try and close that gap, if not get ahead. They've got a good kick in Strawn. They just need to get across that line for the try.
Great confidence to go for the line and not opt for the points there.
30 seconds by our clocks. Could be a little bit differently down there for Damon Murphy's. Oh, and a loose ball. Walmsley's got the ball now. Oh, he's tried to go for the loose pass, and Jeremiah Lynch has jumped over to clear it up. So Sunnybank, an opportunity gone wanting. There's a good
Lachlan
pitch
Maranta
there from Maranta. Yeah.
putting on the kicking boots today.
And here's Lalawifi. That'll be the halftime. Can they make something happen? And that'll go over. And David Murphy will call that halftime. The Bulldogs are up 12 points to 7. It may have been 10 years, but they know exactly what they got to do. And we're going to quickly jump through. We're going to have a look at the stats from this first half. And
Oh, the far one down there.
it's been an absolute whirlwind so far. The Bulldogs, they're holding on, and we see their points scored 12 to 7. The tackles 61 to 42, but it's been a pretty close game. Obviously 55 and 60 to 41 and 45 respectively.
Yeah, it's really evened up. If we looked at that first 20 minutes, I think the territory was something like 70-30 in the Bulldogs' favour. So the second quarter, let's call it that, it started to even up.
Well, the thing is, the Bulldogs, they've made a few more handling errors. They've made a few more tackles. And so the thing is, they're ahead now. If they can try and tighten this up, they can hopefully hold on to their lead. But Sunnybank are slowly starting to figure out their adversaries, and this grinding play is paying dividends.
If the Dragons want to win, I think they need to stick to that grinding play as they showed in that last 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
As opposed
Can't
to the
agree with you
Bulldogs, if you look at the line breaks, they lead that 5-2. They want to play attacking footy. And when they get the ball in hand, they really want to have a crack. The way the Dragons are going to get back in front, I think, is by starving the Bulldogs of the ball.
Spot on there, Michael Atkinson. Well, it is half-time here. It is our minor semi-final between the Bulldogs and the Dragons. It's a fight for survival. We're going to go for a little break. We're going to be back momentarily, so don't go anywhere. And welcome back here to the second half of our minor semi-final. And obviously the 2017 National Rugby Championship fixtures were recently released with both Brisbane City and Queensland country squads. Anticipation is building for the first clashes. We will be breaking new ground here at Ballymore when Brisbane City will face off against the new Fiji side on September 2nd. Head to redsrugby.com.au for more information. And it looks like the teams are moments away from getting back on the paddock. Let's quickly review our power plays one more time. And for option A, we had Mo for show. Logan Tibbetts showing his stuff through the Jeeps defence. Slips through and gets his Mo all dusty for 5 points under the sticks. So that's our great first try there for option A. Option B, Wild West, Tania Sui Lunge does really well here. Gets the offload to find Shiwa Perry, who finds Fido, and 2 points, 5 points for the doggies up post. Option C was Haydo with Christian LaRosa floating it at Will Shepley on the wing. Goes across in the corner for the try, and that was Jeep's last roll of this for the season as well. So great season to them. And our final option was option D, I beg your pardon. Harry Hunnett's 105th game, scoring his 100th try for UQ. And the winner was Tracy Green, who voted for option A, Mo for show. So Tracy, Reds Rugby will be in contact with you. You'll find yourself 4 tickets to the Premier Grade Grand Final here in 2 weeks' time. Get around it. And obviously, we can't do any of this without our sponsors. And Sunnybank's major sponsor, Car Record. And then across the way for Wes, it is X-Radio and their support for the club and Roots Rugby. And here for the second half, joining me, it is Michael Atkinson. Welcome to the second half. Now, definitely a different flavour of game than the one we saw between Uni and Jeeps.
Yeah, very different. Not as high scoring, obviously. Execution is not quite as high either, I'd say. But the intent is definitely there. I think, as we said, the Bulldogs want to play footy. They haven't quite pulled off all their passes. The Dragons need to stop the Bulldogs of the ball.
And it starts off well. The Dragons have done very well off the restart. And Dave Finlay head away, getting the ball. They're going to keep moving their way up. Abdullah's over the top, finds there. He's going to hit Farmasili. Farmasili does well, falls just short of 22. Now, as the last 10 minutes, Sunnybank really bunkered down and got into the grind of phase play, and it really paid dividends, and it showed a few cracks in West's defence. And that is a phenomenal turnover there
really well
by
done
Fontalvo. And here we go, Byron Hutchinson. Now he's big guy, big long limbs. When he gets a strike on it, he gets a good one, but it takes him a while to load up.
Well, he's got a good purchase on that one. But here we go, Gunilala Whiffy. We know he can move, and there's an electric back line.
Look at that step from Richie Achong. He was really trying to find some space there, but nothing presented itself. Now back will be Mahina. Mahina will take it up himself. They're battling it still inside their own half here. They're just patient, the Dragons. Get back into the pocket. Strawn puts a little bit of a chip in. He's going to have to start the run. He's got to catch up. Hutchinson does well to take it. He's going to run straight to it. Sends it down the far side. McNamara puts in a kick of his own. Of a banana. Goes a few sets of hands. Goes off Junior Whiffy. And it'll end up running forward there. I think that was with Isaac Lucas.
It was Isaac Lucas. They've done well in the end, Dragons. They were in a little bit of trouble there, I thought. Isaac Lucas was caught a little bit isolated, but his teammates have rallied around him.
Another floating one to the back will find Fines, kicks it out of their 22, but all he'll find is Liam Dillon linking up with Daungunu on the wing. Daungunu, look at that step on the inside. Puts a bit of a goose step in for the mix. He's over the 22, gets the offload, finds Dillon. Dillon's on the deck. Can he hold on to it and stay in the field of play? Yes, he can. They're going to keep picking. Daungunu's back into the saddle again.
There's the pick and go we were talking about.
He just can't get enough of it. He's having the best ever. Through the hands now. Good heavy run there from Fontalvo. Does very well. West Bulldogs on move. Dillon looks back, goes the other way, offloads. Here's Lynch. He's got Walmsley in support. Walmsley jumps over the top, supports the man. Dillon, left-hand side. They're going to flick it through. Good hands. Byron Hutchinson gets the ball off to Fido. Fido!
No,
does he get there? lost it. The Dragons.
Isaac finds it with a great clean-up.
And the Dragons, they need to settle the ship whilst they're this close. It's dangerous. Strawn. Tries to, and the ball is called touched. And it wasn't theirs to take, I don't believe.
No, so it'll be a Dragons throw, touched off the boot by the Bulldogs.
I just lost my comms. It was touch, yeah.
I think there's a very vocal part of the crowd here.
Not sure the Bulldogs fans like that call, but ref's call is final.
And it's real funny, they're asking Nick Berry about the touch, and I think Nick's just gone, I'm on the sideline.
I don't know.
Boys, hold. Time's off, please. Hold. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah.
And I think time off.
Durant is just in a little bit of trouble in backfield there. He's getting some attention.
Bit of blood?
I think it might be blood related.
Yeah, he was at the bottom of that last ruck right on the try line. He was sort of touching his head.
Well, you've looked at these Sunnybank forwards. There's a lot of potential to push him, man.
There is. There's some big blokes there.
That's the thing. He's, Jeffrey Farmer-Sully in the number 25 playing at number 8. You don't expect a man, that robust to move so well, but he does.
He does move very well. He showed that with the try that he scored.
Now Sue Melilagi, short option does well, finds the hands of Findlay. Strawn sends it out the back. There's Junior sporting his Prince wrist hand strapping. Dylan puts the kick in, goes up. Players are there. Fido. Oh, and here's Strawn. Strawn on the counter. Strawn puts in a little kick over the top. Anybody home? Dylan's there, but it's rolling away from him. He takes his time. The half does well. He's got down Nunu on the outside. But Dylan puts the kick in. I think he's saying, right, run it down, mate. Off you go.
That's
the Dragons.
A dangerous man to kick it straight to.
Junior Lewifi slips through one. Oh, gets a good offload, but the man wasn't waiting for it. Now the Dragons narrowly lost to the informed Gallopers. I believe in round 4, would have been round 16 the week before the uni game. So we know there's a lot of potential in this team to get things done. They've just got to try and get it all happening, and a good kick like that is a great way to start.
That's it, and they need to get back down this end of the field. They need to just get back to that patient footy we saw
the
back
last
into the
10
first
minutes.
half.
Exactly right. Cody Blackhurst will throw in for West. Got to keep your eyes on Jeremiah Lynch. He's one of the bits of tall timber that does really up in the air.
Very recognizable in that red here.
And they're going to hit the front. They do very well. Warms the clean ball. It's going to get out. Puts it into the hands of Slater. Here's Fido. Blackhurst from back offloads. Finds Hutchinson. Hutchinson gives it the beans.
It's a good kick from Byron Hutchinson. He's one of the guys that's been around at West for a little while. He did leave for a short period. He actually went west over to Western Australia and entered the NRC through Perth Spirit there, but he's come back last year. He's one of the proudest Bulldogs on the field.
Sue Minalagi. Oh, quick ball down. Finds Oswald to gather it. Finds Strawn. Inside ball. I believe it's Mahina working his way up in the middle. Finds. Swings it out. Here's Dan Hurt. The Dragons, they're going to try get this grinding display happening. Here's Abdullah. Abdullah, he's got Farmer-Sully on the hip. Slips over the hip and goes into the next player in front of him. Finds, offloads. Here's Fulduayika, gets a pass. Strawn has to work double time because Jeremiah Lynch is all over him like a bad rash.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Now, Isaac Lucas was just a little bit hesitant to join.
There's a quick restart there from the number 5. I think it's Walmsley. I think he's lost his headgear.
He's changed headgear. Well, no. I think that's Walmsley there.
Oh, but he's down on the deck.
Leave it.
Charging up the middle is Timoteo, bucking his way up.
Advantage.
Anderson in the yellow headgear, I beg your pardon. Oh, then a penalty.
Drive through halfback. Leave the halfback. Leave the halfback.
And look at that, Miranda, he's got the brow all stitched up.
Leave the halfback, please.
Stitched up, taped up.
Points.
And very smart player from the Bulldogs. They're going to look for the points.
This game has been quite frenetic. It's been stop-start, but when the ball is in play, it's all over the place. So this is, a decision by the Bulldogs to just get a bit of composure. Also widen that gap if they can kick the points here. And get out to an 8-point lead beyond a converted try.
So Byron Hutchinson now, he's going to look for another 3 points, extend lead to 8. And I think it's fair to say, Michael, style of football that both of these teams are playing, it's a bit different in some respects to what we've seen them play during the season.
Yeah, I think with both sides, they're trying to play the style we know, but it's not coming off the way it has for most of the season. Interestingly enough, we know they both love to play attacking footy as Byron Hutchinson converts the penalty, so an 8-point gap now. They're both going to play the footy we know.
And I have to agree, the Dogs are talking. They're up 15 points to 7.
Very talented Dogs to be talking. I thought they would be barking, but if they are talking, then they've got a lot of skill.
What about that dog, a Family Guy? He seems to talk a lot.
Brian.
Brian.
That was a great impersonation.
And that will not be 10 metres. Just one of my many tricks that I keep in the bag. Atco, you can't just let them all out at once.
You can call the remaining 32 minutes as Stewie. I'll be impressed.
Well, that sounds like quite a challenge. Hey now. Well, as you can see, things are progressing here. We've got a scrum right in the middle of the field. Greasy conditions. We had a bit of rain early in the first half, so it's going to be interesting. We haven't had many scrums in the second half thus far, so I am looking forward to how this one's going to play out.
This could be numero uno, could it not? Things just not going the way of the Dragons at the moment, are they? Need a penalty and points and then not kick off the 10.
Here we go, they're backing in. Liam Dillon with the ball in hand. Through, he's waiting for the ball. Dillon will get hands on it. He's got inside options. Dillon, very light on the feet. He's going, and someone who's there in support. He puts Dillon into the contact and says, don't worry, mate, I've got your back. They're going to go down the side. Little bit of inside pass, but it's going to get on the touch line before it can go any further, and it's going to be a Sunnybank line out.
That was a run by Liam Dillon. Isaac Fines isn't the only halfback out there who can run the ball. Interestingly, when he glided past Henry Teifu, Teifu came out of that little encounter holding his left shoulder, and he's on his knee now. He's just making his way back into the back line.
We saw him take a knee a little bit earlier. In that possession, it's about 50-50 going both ways. So it's still a lot of run needs to be played, and that's the kind of plays that Sunnybank are going to have to do. They're going to have to get back to running those hard, straight lines off the first receiver. Here we go, Junior Luluifi. Great hands, finds Richie Achong, the 7th player. He can run. Luluifi's there. Can he feel it up? No, he can't. McNamara. Miranda, I beg your pardon. Different M. Miranda does very well and locks the man up.
It's been a great battle on that side, on that wing between Richie Achong and Fidel, sorry. Fidel made a break in the first half, and Richie Achong ran him down, and the roles were reversed.
Well, the other thing is we've seen it's the same down Lunu. He's really been dominating both sides of the field that he's been on so far this game. Like, he's just a phenomenal runner of the ball. Cody Blackhurst there was prowling for the ball, but it looks like. And Sunnybank, they had the option of a scrum and a line out, and they decided to go for the scrum. Now, in the way of substitutions, Mike, we haven't seen too many coming on for either of these
teams. The Dragons have just made one with NA taking the field in number 1, replacing Abdallah. So the younger brother of former Red, Albert NA, and looks exactly like him. Goatee and all.
Bind.
So a good opportunity here for the Dragons, Marty.
Set.
Territory's been well and truly against them, but now they get the ball in a good position on the field.
Good scrum there from the Dragons. It'll push them forward. Bit of a kick at the back from Farmer Sully. But they're going to work it through Strawn. Offloads. Finds into the hands of Lucas. Lucas will fall short of the 22. Finds. Flicks it out. Oh, bit of fancy footwork. Goes back on the line from Fenner.
Great footwork from the big.
Fenner. Oh, bit of loose ball. Was it a knock on? Back's called by Murphy. Here's run from full to Waika. He'll get it up. 15 metres out from the line. Finds. Biding his time. Offloads. Oh, hits Dan Hurt. Dan Hurt does well. Dan Hurt 6 metres out. Oh, is that a successful strip? No, I don't think it was. He was off his feet.
I think he's been hard done by there. His first effort was fine, and Sunnybank player for mine was holding on to the ball. Unfortunately, that's not the referee saw it, unfortunately for the Bulldogs.
I think that's time off.
That was off his feet. So he's going to maintain his feet. Yeah, he's going to maintain his feet, but still the ball.
So one of the Sunnybank players is just down the backfield. It's Finlay Henaway, I think it is.
Yep, David Finlay Henaway. He's one of our players to watch for today's game.
Yeah, obviously premiership last year with Brothers. Made the switch, went down south to Sunnybank Club this year. And it's worked out for him. Obviously, the Dragons playing a final this year and the defending premiers Brothers not making the top 4.
Well, that was a really interesting scenario, wasn't it? Brothers, across the board, I believe they came away with 5 premierships last year at the end of the calendar season.
There was a number, yeah.
Yeah, there are 8. I think they had 6 or 7 teams in. They came away with 4 or 5 premierships, and then
Crosby Road had been pumping for
it would have
good
been.
week.
And the thing is,
Maybe they
had a lot. They had a lot of loss. I think was the thing. We had a lot of guys move on. You had people like Dave Finlay Henaway moving across to other clubs. People going over like Sam Green overseas. So I think there was a lot of loss. I think it was like there are a lot of teams that guys hang around for that last final swan song premiership, and then they really do hang up the boots.
Yeah, they
after that.
They did have a number of guys move on. And it did hurt them. You could see that in their play this year.
And they were doing really well through the grades, but then I hear just a myriad of injuries has plagued them, and they had some key people go down. And, I think it's boded well for the... Oh, and here we go. Sunnybank on the charge. Farmer Sully's going to try to wrestle his way to the line. Such a big human. They're going to pick and drive, and will they get there? And that'll be a try.
We have a game on. And as Murphy just explained there, that the ball may not have crossed the try line, but it's been played bottom.
Well, that's the thing. They got Furuaika, and they hammered on behind him. They didn't have much concern for him, and so going straight into that bag, because that's going to be 5 points. And we see here the scrum kind of goes a bit wayward. And Farmer Sully, it starts here, this great wrestle.
Look how well he does here. He's being held up by 2 big guys, Jeremiah Lynch in one of them, and he's still wiggles his way out.
This is where Furuaika lined up. He had Dan Hurt on the hip, and he was never going to get slowed down, because that's a lot of human for those 2 blokes to slow down. And Jake Strawn will convert it, and there we go. 1 point ball game. The Dragons trailing now, 14 points to 15 in the 54th minute. We've still got about 26 to go.
Larry Hermans there was pleading with Damon Murphy not to award the try, because it wasn't over the line, but as we said, it touched the bottom of that pad, and that is a 5-pointer.
And it's not the first time we've seen a few of those tries this season, mind you.
A couple of them went against the Reds through the Super Rugby season.
We don't talk about that.
Not after that comment. No more, sorry.
Great kick there by Hutchinson. Very high, goes down the throat of Fight. And Fines just said, right, where's Farmer Sully? Oh, there he is, trotting his way up. And look, there's a bit of an awkward land there by one of the players, but Farmer Sully will plough it up about 35. Here's Benner. Dan Hurt over the top for the clear out. The Dragons got a bit of wind in their sails, a bit of wind under their wings.
Take him back.
Probably a bit more accurate. And there is a bit of a kick from Strawn. It'll go down the throat. Oh, there's a good run, I believe,
strip by Finlay Henaway to get possession back.
Oh, and a loose ball that might be knocked on.
I believe the Bulldogs have made a challenge, Marty. Liam Dillon is off. And I think Jacobus Van Eden has taken field in jersey number 21.
Van Eden.
And a Jake Newell, who is a Dogs stalwart in number 23. See him there, has come in the front row. I think he may have replaced Timoteo. No, he hasn't replaced Timoteo. I apologise. He's replaced Valmanu.
Valmanu. So Van Eden with the ball in hand. A few substitutes on the west side of things. Big scrum for the Dragons. They really need to put the nudge on and slow the Bulldogs down. They need to turn this game around and get back into the half of the field. Van Eden waits for the call. Murphy green lights it. He puts it in. Good from both sides. They hold out well. Going down the far side. Good running from Hermans. Miranda jumps in at half. Offloads. Finds Van Eden. Newell. Apologies. Newell, 23. And that'll be a penalty. And time's off, and this is going to be bad for Theo Futuaika.
I don't talk to you like that. Don't talk to me like that. You've made no attempt to wrap your arms.
And that's a big blow for the Dragons. They're going to spend the next 10 minutes. And the thing is, restock the scrum. They're going to have to lose another man and bring another one on.
Yeah, and that'll be a good break for foul, but it's not good for his team. Down by a point and at the wrong end of the field.
We can hear
the West supporters just letting him, saying farewell.
Oh, the Bulldogs, they've had about 10 years.
So they didn't make touch with that penalty kick, and the Dragons have responded, putting the ball in touch themselves 30 metres out.
I'm quite impressed with the Bulldogs, the flags and the banners. They've had a good 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think they've been working hard at their arts and crafts.
The Harlequin print is on the banner as well.
Blackhurst fires it in. Oh, and he just onto it. Good work there. Fired off by Van Eden. Offloads it. Good run from Slater. Eden again. Flicks it out. Good hammering run from... Here goes Anderson. Anderson does well. But Eden offloads. Timoteo. Good over
carry.
the 22. They're going to keep going. They're hammering their way up. Oh, good run from Miranda. Offload. Miranda still goes. He's found the options.
Fontalvo there.
They're going to keep rolling through. Can they keep it up? And go. There's a bit of space around the breakdown. And Eden offloads. A little bit of fancy footwork. Bit of a flutter there from the number 18. I think that's Sean Perry.
Perry, it is.
Well, Perry.
You know how electric his feet are.
The Bulldogs, they're in close, picking and driving. Timoteo will have another slog at it. How does he? Lynch, he's got two players. Oh, that's just unlucky for the Dragons. There's players all over. He's done his best to get out of there. Picking and driving. Can the Bulldogs cross the line? Van Eden tries to go himself, but he'll come short. Great defence there from Mahina.
Absolutely manhandled.
The Bulldogs, they're so Timoteo lists but falls back onto the breakdown. Picking and driving so quick. Cody Blackhurst tries to get there.
Cody Blackhurst
lost it.
Oh. Great pressure building by the Bulldogs. They've let the drag off the hook a little bit there with that error, but there were some great phases. The recycle of the ball was phenomenal. Fontalvo through
I think we're seeing stamina start to back off a bit with these guys, and they're going to have to get back to what they know, and that is phase play, net piece. We can't be razzle-dazzling for a full 80.
Well, the first half was very razzle-dazzle, wasn't it? You know, it didn't always come off, but they were really, really trying to play expansive and quite, you know, football with flair, but it's gotten a lot tighter in this second half. There's an opportunity here. They'll be desperately trying to clear the ball, touch, and get away from their own end.
Boys up. I want you closer to the mark, please, goal.
Yeah.
Closer to the mark, please.
Here we go. Both sides packing down. Isaac finds Lillivasa with the ball in hand. The Dragons right close. Right up and close with their try line.
Interesting binding from Jerry Lynch there.
Yeah, it is. It's not steady. Stay square for me, please. Same thing. Stay square in square for me, yeah? I can't have it pushing an angle.
Oh, can we go on the fire?
What's that? Yeah. You may. There's the original one.
So it looks like Damon Murphy's patience is...
Starting to run thin, you think, a little bit?
I think running thin with the big boys in the front row.
Just watch Jeremiah Lynch's right arm here. Scrum that got reset, he was actually reaching out and grabbing hold of Chaz Mahina, which you can't do, so you want to be careful.
It's very cheeky. He's got to remember there are touchies watching in from the sideline. Yeah, they go through the hands. Here goes Lucas. Lucas goes on his own. Oh, but that was a little bit high. Will it get pulled up? I think it's falling into it. And there we go.
Entry.
The ball definitely wasn't out there. That was pretty silly by Van Eden. The Bulldogs lucky not to give away a penalty with the high tackle, but they gave one away anyway.
I think the player was kind of falling into that tackle a bit, so I think it'd be a bit hard to...
Well, that's well refereed if that's the case in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen it, unfortunately, at the higher level. Oh. It's a penalty and sometimes a card straight away when a player's falling into it. So well done, Damon Murphy, letting play go on.
No, he's cutting
Here we go. Sue Melagi throwing the line out. He's got Fenner, Denhurt and Finlay Henaway all lurking in the middle. Oh, and that's great work by Finlay Henaway. Fires it out. Mahina finds Lucas. They're going to keep moving through. Here's Taifu. He's been a bit quiet in the second half.
I think he's nursing a really sore shoulder, Marty.
Well, definitely trying to dig in deep for the Dragons to keep their finals hopes alive. Slater's just sitting there. And here we go, they kick way downtown. Oh, and Downuni just holds onto it, links up with Hutchinson, fires out wide to Waperi. Waperi goes back up the middle. Waperi drops one, drops two, drops three, drops four, gets the offload, does so well. Moving away with it will be Lynch. Here's Maranta. Maranta, does he keep the dream alive? No, it'll go out on the side. We're in the 62nd minute, about 18 minutes left in this game. It's getting real.
That's the style of footy the Bulldogs have played all year. It's gotten to this point. They need to keep playing that footy.
Cut out before. It's all good.
Obviously, we're broadcasting live from the home of Queensland Rugby here at Ballymore. It is our second match day, the minor semi-final. The winner of this game will move on to play UQ in the preliminary final next weekend. Kick off at 3:05. We're going to have heaps of preliminary action out here all weekend in the main stadium. So, great time to get out and get around it. Well, you can hear just that West crowd just chanting to ask the doggies to bring them home. Special occasion for the West Bulldogs.
It has been a long time since they've featured finals footy here at Ballymore. They want to be taking me home to Sylvan Road just yet. They're still up by a point.
I was about to say. They're giving as much support as they can from the sideline. Strawn fires it out. Lalawifi fires it up. Good take from Byron Hutchinson. Fends off one. Wow, what a behind the back flick pass that was. Here goes Maranta. Maranta Smart decision, holds on to it. They're going to keep going. And Eden offloads, goes back to Hutchinson here on the short side.
Richard on the field for the Dragons now in jersey 21.
Richard King, he's a lot of pizzazz on down, goes straight up the middle, but a lot of hands hold on, goes between the legs for the place. They're going to crank it through the fingers, and here's Timoteo,
the big man.
Timoteo! Mia Maya like that, yes boy. Here we go, through hands. Here goes Anderson in the gold gear. Staying true to his colours. Here's Blackhurst. Cody Blackhurst. He's always been in the race at the right time. Here goes Walmsley in the number 5 jersey. Van Eden does well. Offloads. There's the Bulls. Are they going to get there? Are they going to get there? Yes, he will.
Hermans. Larry Hermans off the back of a great carry from Alec Fontalvo.
Crowd. Bulldogs are up on the hill.
And that bunch of supporters on the top of the hill has stayed there.
And we see great running rugby. They great continuity. Started with a good run from Spencer Walmsley. Offloads, keeps going. Alec Fontalvo sets it up. And following in very close behind was Larry Hermans, who had to pick up and just dive under the sticks. And that'll be 5 points, and what I suspect will be another 2.
A couple of Woody the Cowboys up there. Hope Andy's knows where they are.
And
that group of supporters have been in that spot. Even when it was raining, they didn't budge. Might be a couple of their reserve grade players who missed the finals by 1 single point. And I reckon they're probably enjoying themselves.
I think it's going to be a lot of every kind of bloke from West all around this ground, past, present, and future players. And that's, it's a great thing to see. They've got that brilliant new facility. The Premier Colts and their Premier grade sides have done exceptionally well to get through to the final. And I think they're laying quite a good platform for years to come.
That's right, yeah. And they've got the facilities now as well to carry it on.
And here's Walmsley hitting it up from the back. Will be Van Eden. Van Eden kicks it up. Hutchinson gets it out of nowhere. Runs through the gap. Hutchinson on the outside. Hutchinson, the big guy striding.
Oh.
Can he go all the way? He'll fall just short.
It's great. A great
on.
tackle by the young man, Isaac Lucas. A wonderful tackle. Never gave up. Byron Hutchinson is no slouch either. He gets those long legs ticking over. He's a very hard man to run down, but Isaac Lucas showed that he's got the ability to do so. That was desperate from the Dragons, and they needed it, Marty. They could not allow Byron Hutchinson to score there. It would have been virtually game over for mine.
Absolutely. And the thing is, on Sunnybank, when Wests are on, Sunnybank don't have much of a response.
Yep.
They're just sitting back and watching, and they're hemorrhaging meters.
They are.
So this is the thing. If West can play like this for a full 80 minutes, they're going to give any team in the competition a good run for their money. They're playing resourceful, running rugby. Like they were doing in the first half. They started playing the rugby in the beginning of the second half. Now they've put them both together.
And they've just made a few changes, so they've got some fresh legs out there. Matthew Iker has come on, packing down at the back. And also Harrison Struss packing down in the second row. So fresh legs for the Dogs, and they are definitely on top.
Here we go. Great frag. There'll be moments of David Murphy won't get. Oh, there he goes. He gives it to them. Very last minute. Strawn will kick for exit. And we'll come back to the advantage from the scrum.
We haven't seen too many penalties from scrum. Murphy's been very willing to let the teams just clear the ball and play on.
So 12 minutes on the clock. 12 minutes 45 if you want to heckle. And the Bulldogs, they are looking primed.
The Dragons will take every extra second they can get at the moment. They need time on their side, being down by 8 points.
Agree with you more. And Strawn will kick for the line. Lift the body language too. And the thing is, West have done such a great job to isolate. We have not seen much of Richie Achong, Henry Teifu, Isaac Lucas and Joey Fiddick in this second half. No. There just hasn't been much in the way of Sunnybank backline.
Yeah,
and here we go. Finds through the hands, finds Strawn. Strawn comes up, and here's that hammering defence from the Bulldogs. Really shutting things down. Finds. Swings it out again. Oh, and there's a gutsy run.
Not held.
From the number 1, Sam Mellor. Oh, loose ball out the back. And we're going to come back.
Can't go ball.
Van Eden takes his time returning the ball.
The Dragons really need to capitalise on these couple of piggybacks they've had.
Here we go, a good strike. A couple of silly penalties, Michael. It's putting Sunnybank back into the game. Mind you, they get the converted try. It's back to 1 point. It's not like the Bulldogs are that far ahead that they can cruise.
No, that's exactly right. And momentum is very important. They might, if they scored and got to within 1 point, they might still be down, but they've got momentum on their side.
Oh, and that is a great take from Timoteo. Timoteo, another bustling run, and Kingy gets way. Oh, and followed up by another heavy there from the number 23, Jake Newell. And there we go, another silly penalty from the Bulldogs. It's the small 1%ers. It's all well and good having great players doing big runs, but they're letting it get away.
And that's an excellent kick, a much kick from Jake Strawn. The penalties, look at that. He's conceded is still very heavy in favour of the Bulldogs, but it's starting to creep back.
Well, and that was the thing. So piggyback their half. Piggyback them off good kicks and the like, so...
The Dragons need to capitalise on these penalties now. They won't count for anything if they can't make the most of them.
The Dragons on the attack now. It's the bet. Oh, and there. Did Aaron get the ball? No, it'll be knocked on. So it's going to be a Sunnybank scrum 26 metres out from the Bulldogs line. Big opportunity here for them.
So the Dragons really struggling to build a little bit of pressure. They're obviously at the right end of the field. They're getting penalties going their way, but the Bulldogs are definitely trouble.
Look at that.
Timoteo with
bit of a rip in the front of his jersey.
He has had a huge game. Not only has he scored pretty well, but he's got the ball and made meters out wide and through the middle. He's earned that whole jersey.
Oh, I think I know what jersey he's getting at the end of the season. And finds the ball in hand. You can see Junior Lalawifi just in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
Jeremiah Lynch binding on the opposition scrum once again.
There we go, advantage to the Dragons. They're in good position now. Finds, goes, flings it out, finds Strawn. Strawn floats one over the top. Oh, man, wasn't there. Come back to the penalty advantage. The back of that good scrum.
Collapsing.
This is a very interesting situation. Do you take the points and get yourself within fucking distance?
Well, the thing is, there's only 9 minutes on the clock. So it's a bit of a gambit. They get the 3 points, closes it out, 17-22. But regardless, even if they get another try, it's still that we need to convert to win. So,
well, if they put this through, they only need to try to get in front.
And Jake Strawn, he'll take his time to line this one up. Might not be 100% on his side. Looks like we've got a lot of viewers right now on YouTube. Thank you for joining us all. Please comment in the comment below. Let us know who you think's going to get up. Is it going to be Wes or is it going to be Sunnybank? And there we go. Jake Strawn will add another 3 points to the tally. 17.22 they trail with about 8 minutes remaining here. Very close game.
It is.
We see the tackle count, astronomical, about each
There's been a lot of defence, hasn't there? A huge amount of defence in this game.
And the other thing is there's been a considerable amount of running up and down the paddock. So even amongst all that, they're getting there, they're slowing down the attack, they're putting in the tackles.
Yeah, well, there's been a total of 13 line breaks in the game. 9 to the Bulldogs, 4 to the Dragons. They're also playing a lot of footy.
Here we go, and the Bulldogs have had a lot of territory but not much possession. Which means they're keeping the Dragons down their end of the field. And we look across, about 50-50 on possession in the territory. Sunnybank's only get up. There we go, it's been a big day across. This is our final match for the semi-finals weekend. And a lot of of matches played across the board. Here we go. The Dragons right up the middle of the field. Strawn offloads. Here's Sumelilagi. Sue Melilagi pumps the legs. It's the halfway line. Finds inside ball, hits Junior Lalawifi.
They were onto that, the Dogs. Jake Newell.
Finds, offloads again, Foto Aika.
Alec Jones is out there for the Bulldogs now in jersey 22.
Subs from Pat Byron. He's really wanted fresh on the field. He knows it's going to be the difference here.
Joe Cotton also out there in jersey 16.
Here they go. Finds, offloads, finds Strawn. Here's Isaac Lucas, fends one, the off. Here is Richie Achong on the far side. They've really had to work hard to get over that 50 line. And there we go, following up now, another good run there from Findlay Henaway. Finds at the back. Finds. Flings it. Haven't managed to go past the 50-metre line. Well, there's Chaz Mahina jumping the saddle.
Advantage.
No advantage to the Dragons, good field position. And the penalty will go against the number 22, Alec Jones, for not rolling away.
That's really unfortunate for the Bulldogs. Their defence was pretty incredible there. They weren't giving the Dragons anything in terms of meterage.
And I think a sigh of relief for the Dragons there, opting for that 3 points about 2 or 3 minutes ago. It's starting to look like it will pay off in the long run.
Yeah, well, they're down now just outside the 22.
And there's only about 5 minutes left. So you take the try, time to get the try, time to convert. The kick back, the Bulldogs, they're in a bit of a precarious position if that comes forward. Faking, and that's a very cheeky. That's schoolboy tactics there. Josh Fenner gets it right front, doesn't even have to leave the ground. Strawn offloads in the middle. I think that's Mahina again.
And he had some carries today.
He's really had to lift him. Different styles of coaching. Damon Virtue hasn't had too many subs, and here is Sue Melilagi offloads. Well behind the back. Waika
and a great
gets
grab.
onto it. That's such good instinct from the Sunnybank players. They're keeping it alive. They know how important this is. There's a good run up the middle by Christian Malalau. Followed up, Dan Hurt. They're 7 metres out. The Dragons, they're keeping their hopes alive. Picking and driving, there they go. They're very tired out there. 5 minutes remaining. It's been a huge grind for both sides. Here's Dan Hurt. Dan Hurt, can he go? He'll fall just short. The Dragons, they're getting very close now. The Bulldogs are going to rally in defence.
Got him stretched.
Oh, Ike Lucas. Oh, he gets pile drive by Down Lunu, but that'll be a penalty.
This could very well be card. Here, Marty. A deliberate down from Bob Hutchinson, I think it was. And in that sort of position on the field, you'll see someone go to the bin. He's not.
So, yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. Just a minute. Time back on. Down here. Scrum.
So they're going to go for the scrum.
They have had a dominant scrum.
Well, they've
today.
had a lot of success in the second half. And the other thing, yes, bringing on a lot of fresh bodies is good, but it also changes your team dynamic quite heavily because, you know, I think Pat Byron's nearly rotated his entire bench in.
But Sione Mahelu is on now.
That's it. That's his full bench brought into the fray. So,
well, they've got a completely new and relatively fresh front row, the Dogs. Whereas there's still 2 players out there from the starting front row for the Dragons. And I imagine they'd be getting a little bit tired.
Crouch!
That Dragon scrum's been strong.
let's see if they can just kind of keep doing what they've been doing for the last 77 minutes. They're going to keep themselves in contention. Oh, and that's very impressive in the light of a full overhaul of the opposition front row. And finds, takes, it does so well, just completely bats off Van Eden. Fines, he's still there, but we're going to come back to the initial penalty. It's going to have to be quick, though. Fines knows it.
You've got to go scrum again, don't you? In this position, that amount of dominance.
And the penalty goes against the Bulldogs for standing up. So even as tired as they are, that Sunnybank front row, they're holding their height off the ground. They're staying together, pushing as one. That's really impressive stuff.
They're going forward. I'll show you guys.
Yes. There was no question about that there.
And I don't want to say it's all or nothing, but this is coming down to the line.
You may have heard a hooter then, but Marty, that wasn't the final hooter. There's still 2 minutes to go.
I think it enforces we're close. And the Dragons, it's a fight for survival. And a scrum like that, that'll seal it. That's really good for them. They're holding on. They're driving forward. Advantage is given again. Here goes Fines. Offloads. There's Isaac Lucas. Lucas, he's trying to make his way forward. The Dragons are going to maintain their advantage here. What can they do with it? There's Mahina going further. They're going to keep pushing 6 meters out from line. The Dragons, they're really giving it. They've got the rest of their season depends on the next play. They really need to and get the try to pull it out. They're going to keep picking and driving, but the Bulldogs, they're rallying in defense. And that'll come back to the original advantage.
Chase, the penalty over there. We've got a 5 metre try there for offside goal. What do you want to do?
5 metre try?
No, 5 metres out. Penalty there, or we can have a penalty.
That was really wishful.
But you've got to go. You've got to go the scrum. That other penalty is 5 metres. They have to go there and take the scrum.
10, 12
I wonder
offside.
at what point will another dominant Sunnybank scrum not be rewarded with a card?
Well, you'd think off this scrum, if they can get
This
the
will be
same
number
shove,
3 in a
it'll be
row.
either a card or a penalty try. They are closer now to the try than they were before.
We're going to hear
The Dogs are in big trouble here, I think.
and it's that imposing front row that Sunnybank has. It's well tuned. They've played together all season. They matched it with Jeeps' scrum 3 weeks ago quite successfully in roles reversed. Held them out numerous times.
Set!
This is the Dogs.
There they go. The Dragons. They're nudging. They're pushing. At the back is Mahina. Mahina, he's waiting. Mahina, will he get there? Mahina gets there. He ties it up. 22 points all.
It is.
With a conversion to come.
That is devastation for the Dogs.
It's not
Jubilation
over yet.
for the Dragons.
We've got to wait for the kick from
still
Strawn. But this has been an exciting game.
Well, haven't we been treated to some non-finals today? Really polar opposites, the two games we've seen today. But both
the
nail
style
biting.
of them was just worlds apart. This game was not about grinding, hard-hitting rugby. It's been about expansive finesse. You know, hokey, those little hokey kicks for players running on. And
this is not a difficult kick, but pressure does strange things. And the Dragons
that will be it. The Dragons
stay alive.
They'll be being UQ next week. And it is a bitter pill to swallow for the Bulldogs, but
they can hold their heads high. They played really well.
They were wooden spooners last year, 9th, and in the space of 12 months brought themselves to the finals at Ballymore. That is a huge achievement.
And Marty, they
regardless.
led that game for 80 minutes. That try came after full time. The Dogs led the game for 80 minutes. I know they lost and they will be devastated, but they can hold their heads high. They didn't come here to make up the numbers.
And they threw everything they had at it. Every reserve was in the mix. They played solid rugby, and in the end, it just wasn't enough to get them over the line.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. And we'll see another
And look at those stats. The Bulldogs, 116 tackles.
Well, a lot of those would have come in that last 5 minutes as well. They were really camped inside their 22.
And the interesting thing is, when you look at that territory, possession quite even. The territory, though, 60 to 40. What that's telling me is that when Sunnybank got a sniff, they did a lot of work with it. And the thing is, the Bulldogs, yeah, they might have spent a lot of time up in the Sunnybank end of the field, but Sunnybank were putting up a great defence that held them out. So I think in the end, that's what separated the two teams.
And that's really a fascinating statistic, that territory, because that last 5 minutes was all inside the Bulldogs' 22-metre zone. So I would love to have seen what that statistic was like at the 75th minute.
Penalties conceded, a little bit high, 12 to 14. I think that's because both teams were starting to try and they were probing a bit hard, and I think Bulldogs posted up a lot of late penalties from those scrums once that initial forward pack got played, and they brought on the new blood, but that Sunnybank pack of 8, they just knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and a lot of those 14 penalties from the Dogs did for scrum, as you mentioned, and a number of them in the dying minutes of that game. But you've got to give credit to the Dragons. They held on. They didn't give up hope. They're down by 8 points at one stage, and that penalty goal when they opted to take the points 10 minutes out paid off.
Absolutely. And we see here now how the finals work. We've talked about it. The winner of the major books a straight ticket to the grand final in 2 weeks. That was Jeeps with a win of 42 points to University's 24 in the major semi. And because Sunnybank have narrowly secured their win 24 to 22, they will then progress through to visit UQ in the preliminary final. And the winner of that will meet Jeeps in the grand final in 2 weeks. So that is full time here. And what an afternoon has been. Michael Atkinson, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a nail-biting afternoon.
Thank you, Marty. Pleasure to be here. They were 2 fantastic games of rugby to win.
Awesome.
I'm really glad.
Are you on breakdown this week?
I might be.
Might be. So we might get
Freddie.
Well, there we go. We might find out.
Not of approval.
Well, we go. Mike, thank you very much for joining us. And as always, to all of our wonderful spectators at home, there have been many of you today. Thank you very much for joining us for both of these semi-final matches today. We are back next week with the preliminary finals, and then we're up with the grand final. Following week, we will be broadcasting Premier Colts, Reserve Grade, and Premier Grade. We've got a lot of rugby still to come, so make sure you're tuning in to all the weekly content, and you're back with us next on the live stream if you can't make it down to Ballymore, the home of Queensland rugby. As always, my name is Martin Lippiett. Thank you very much for joining us, and good evening.